If Randy Orton was to retire today, and I know that's a very sensitive topic if you're a Randy Orton fan, believe me, I don't want to see that happen, but if he was to retire today, this is what he would be going into the Hall of Fame with. 14-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion, one-time Intercontinental Champion, one-time United States Champion, four-time Tag Team Champion, two-time Royal Rumble winner 2009 and 2017, one-time Money in the Bank winner 2013. He is the 17th Grand Slam champion in WWE history and the 10th Triple Crown champion in WWE history. A Hall of Fame career. You cannot think of a better Hall of Fame career than the one Randy Orton has had. Doctors are telling Randy Orton to stay away from the WWE, never to return to the wrestling ring ever again. Bill Apter from Sportskeeda caught up with Randy Orton's father, Bob Orton, at the 80s Wrestling Con recently. Orton talked about being around Roddy Piper and family life, and he gave a little bit of an update on his son, Randy Orton. Bob said that his son is indeed training, but doctors have told him that he shouldn't return to the ring. He says this, and I quote, "He's training, so we'll see what happens. I don't know if he feels like going back. If he feels like going back, or if he feels like he's ready to go back, I think he might. Then again, he's pretty well taken care of. I don't think he needs to. I think the doctors have told him not to. Randy will do what Randy is going to do. He always has," end quote. Now, Randy Orton's been out of action since last summer, and he underwent back fusion surgery in November. The last time we saw him on television, he was put out of commission, as well as Matt Riddle for a little bit, out of commission by Solo Sikoa and the rest of the Bloodline. Dave Meltzer recently reported in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that Orton was nowhere close to being able to return to the ring, and that is the latest update on Randy Orton. Randy Orton is not retiring. I'm sorry. I can't sit here and really believe that the last vision, the last image that we see of Randy Orton is him laying on his back with Matt Riddle as a part of a tag team in RK Bro. That's the last thing that we see Randy Orton do on television. Randy Orton, first of all, you're not even going to know when Randy Orton comes back because legitimately his entire gimmick is built on the out-of-nowhere gimmick. When you see Randy Orton, it will legitimately be out of nowhere, and it's going to be fucking crazy when he comes back. Randy Orton is not retiring. Randy Orton knows that with the WWE now undergoing so many changes, and he really hasn't been able to be a part of that with Triple H in charge. Randy Orton's a Triple H guy. I don't know how he does not come back when he knows Cody Rhodes is there and the stories that he could tell. John Cena has been a little bit more active with the WWE. Edge is nearing retirement. There's so many things that Randy Orton would love, and I know he would love to be a part of. That's what I'm thinking. Randy Orton is not going out on his back and laying there next to Matt Riddle with the Bloodline standing over. Matt Riddle and Randy Orton, how you finish that up? They'll probably finish that up when he gets back to television, but that is not the last thing of his career he wants to be known for. He, to me, World Championship, a feud with Cody Rhodes. Oh my God, man, the television that could be created with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes for the World Heavyweight Championship. Take my money, man. I'm banking on it. I'm hoping for it that it does happen. But Randy Orton ain't going nowhere, bro. Randy Orton is not going nowhere. Of course, he told his father, yeah, I'm training. His father said in the same thing, he's training, but the doctors told him to stay away. If the doctors told him to stay away, then he wouldn't be in the ring training, and he would have taken the advice of the doctors. Randy Orton's not staying away. Randy Orton is not anywhere close to retiring. I don't even know how old he is. I mean, he's not even, if he comes back, he's younger than a Lashley and a Styles and guys like that. Randy Orton, he's going to be back on WWE television, and he will be back in the World Championship title scene. And I foresee a Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton main event at WrestleMania one of these years before Randy Orton really does have to hang up the boots, man. I'm very much looking forward to it. And when he's back, his presence will be immediately felt, man, because right now, his presence is sorely missed. When he comes back, man, you're going to see an elevation of whichever show he's on, and I can't wait to see when Randy Orton's back on WWE television. Someone that we might not be seeing back on WWE television, and quite the sad update here, is Bobby Roode. Apparently, Bobby Roode has undergone a second neck fusion surgery. Roode has suffered yet another setback in his recovery and journey to make it back to the ring. Roode signed in 2016 with WWE. While with the company, Roode held the NXT title in a tremendous run. One of my favorite things about the black and gold ever was Bobby Roode's NXT World Championship title run, man. Absolutely one of the best heels of the current generation. Something that you guys might have missed back in 2017, I believe it was, where he became a United States champion on the main roster as well, Raw Tag Team Champion, and SmackDown Tag Team Champion. Roode hasn't wrestled since working with Omos last June at a WWE house show. Last year, he had a C5 and C6 vertebrae fused. Unfortunately, Bobby Roode had to get his C4 and C5 fused, again, the C5 as well. He shared the news in this post on Instagram that you guys can see right here. Another trip around the sun and another trip to Birmingham, Alabama. Quite a way to celebrate my birthday, LOL. Had a C4, C5 cervical fusion to go along with the C5, C6 fusion back in November. Most importantly, it was a success thanks to the man himself, Dr. Andy Cordover, and the first-class staff here at Andrews Sports Medicine. Big thank you to Deanne17 for being my rock throughout this entire process. It's been a challenging year, to say the least. Road to recovery, part number 2 for Bobby Roode. So, I know I'm a big Bobby Roode fan. I don't know what you guys feel about Bobby Roode. I know a lot of people, the old school Impact TNA fans, loved Bobby Roode as the world champion there. That's where he really solidified himself as a main event guy over on TNA as the world's heavyweight champion. Obviously, everybody knows about his time in Beer Money, one of the more acclaimed tag teams of the modern era, Beer Money, with him and James Storm. I personally loved his NXT short stint as Glorious Bobby Roode. I loved his World Championship run down there. I thought he was the heel that we needed on the main roster, sorely needed on the main roster. And then when he got called up to the main roster, they fucked everything up. It was such a simple presentation. Bobby Roode with the robe and the whole fucking prick-like attitude and this mix of Ric Flair and this modern just fucking prick heel, man. He was so good at what he did down in NXT. And I miss it. I really did. That was a huge squandered opportunity for WWE, and they really never took him serious because Vince McMahon has an ageism problem, and he didn't really see Bobby Roode as anything more than a mid-card guy or a lower-card guy that's going to be used to get others over. And everything that Triple H did was completely wasted. He may not be back on television ever. I believe he's, 47, 48 years old? That's going to be a very difficult injury to come back from at Bobby Roode's age. I don't even know if it's worth it for him to come back, especially going through all this. I don't know when he's coming back, and another year possibly, even to be in training. That's going to be a long time before we see Bobby Roode. He's going to be near 50 by the time he comes back. Does he want to risk everything that he's done to now give himself a quality of life to come back and wrestle? Sometimes people want to go out on their own. Sometimes people want to write that last chapter the way they want it to be written. But what's more important, now and living the rest of your years with quality of life on your mind, number one priority, living life easy, no pain, pain-free, or do you want to get back in there and risk another injury after you did so much and spent so much time and effort to get back to feeling normal again? It's going to be very difficult to see Bobby Roode in the ring again, man. I wish him nothing but the best, and it's going to be a very interesting situation to see if he does make it back to WWE television. Unlike Randy Orton, I do believe Randy Orton will be back. Bobby Roode, not so much. And WWE's plans are to push LA Knight 100%. We talked about this yesterday in a video on the channel. You missed it, you guys could go check it out. LA Knight, it's now official. LA Knight and Rick Boogs will go into a tag team, temporary as it may be, say the reports, against the Street Profits on SmackDown. There was a Night Boogs segment that was scheduled for SmackDown, but as reported by Boozer Wrestling, the insider Twitter account that everybody seems to love now, the segment was delayed. It ended up airing on SmackDown Lowdown that airs on Saturday on Peacock. The decision to have Knight and Boogs team up has a lot of fans voicing their frustration because many feel he should be moved up the card as a singles star. Boozer Wrestling tweeted that the team is only temporary and there are plans for Knight to get a push. Boozer tweeted that a push is in the books 100% and he's a top 3 contender to win Money in the Bank, but there is no solid winner decided yet. Boozer also said things take time and there's a certain structure and protocol, so have faith he is in good hands. End quote. Knight has been getting great reactions on live events, and nothing that LA Knight has done has gone unnoticed. So, LA Knight, Rick Boogs, as temporary as it may be, fans will complain. I said something along the lines of, let's give it some time. Maybe they're looking to get Rick Boogs over as a singles guy, and they're going to use Rick Boogs in the same way that they used LA Knight in his feud with Bray Wyatt. But I do question, and I thought about this a little after the video aired yesterday, is it the right guy in Rick Boogs? They could have used 2 other guys. They could have used Grayson Waller as a tag team with LA Knight. I thought that'd be a nice pairing. Or they could go back and use Cameron Grimes. I'm thinking Cameron Grimes and LA Knight had this feud in NXT that was very good during their time down there. Ted DiBiase was involved. The $1 Million Championship was involved. Cameron Grimes was used in that feud to elevate him. LA Knight was getting great reactions, and he was a great heel. They had a beautiful program back and forth. The promos and the vignettes were great. They could have used that, and I'm surprised Triple H didn't use Cameron Grimes to kind of go back as a throwback, as a reimagining of the LA Knight and Cameron Grimes feud. I think Cameron Grimes would have been a great beneficiary to the heat and the reaction that LA Knight is getting, especially with Cameron Grimes making his main roster debut on Friday against Baron Corbin. They could have did that, but they failed to see that as an opportunity. But here we got Rick Boogs. No matter how temporary it may be, fans are going to complain because LA Knight is a popular guy on the main roster. Now, the Money in the Bank situation is interesting, and I'll end on this. I know we talked about this on Friday during the SmackDown post show. Is it possible AJ Styles wins the World Heavyweight Championship from Seth Rollins? Probably not. I think WWE was going to end up giving it to Seth Rollins. But what if AJ Styles wins the World Heavyweight Championship being a SmackDown guy? It would make it more stupid than it already is, yes. But Triple H did mention trades and transfers. They could easily transfer AJ Styles over to Monday Night Raw. He is a part of the OC. WWE drafted full factions in the draft, so I'm assuming that they transfer the OC over to Monday Night Raw with AJ Styles and the World Heavyweight Championship because it is a Raw exclusive title. Maybe they transfer the OC and over comes Cody Rhodes after Night of Champions, and he is on the same brand as Roman Reigns, and they don't have to waste Money in the Bank on Cody Rhodes for him to go over to SmackDown. That would be one way. We discussed on Friday, and I know a couple of my subscribers and followers on Twitter actually mentioned that as a way as well. He could go over to SmackDown, be on the same brand as Roman, start building that program for SummerSlam, and have him take the title off Roman so they don't need to waste Money in the Bank on him. Meanwhile, the Money in the Bank can go to somebody like LA Knight, and that would make fans happy. And honestly, he'd be the guy that deserves it most. And it would fit him most because of the character that he plays on television. Just an idea. So we'll see what happens with LA Knight. But he is still in the running, in the cards to win Money in the Bank in London, England this summer, man. So LA Knight, 100% in the books still for a WWE push, no matter what happens with the tag team with Rick Boogs. Thank you guys very much for this Monday video, man. Tonight, I will be live after Monday Night Raw, as always, for a brand new week of content. Make sure you guys RSVP to the venue tonight. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications so you know when we do go live and update new videos here on the channel. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. 1,000 likes is the minimum right here for today's video. And please go check out all the other videos that you might have missed on the channel. Plenty of content there waiting for you if you missed anything. And hit the socials at JD from NY206. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Guys, I'll see you back in the venue tonight for Monday Night Raw right here on Off the Script.